The rain pelted down as they yanked me from my front door, my bare feet slipping on the wet concrete, the cold seeping into my bones. Steel cuffs tightened around my wrists, biting into my skin, while flashes of crimson and blue lit up my living room walls like a twisted light show. My wife stood close to one of the officers, clutching his arm like a frightened child seeking protection. "He's dangerous," she murmured just loud enough for every watching neighbor to hear. The officer pulled the cuffs tighter. She called out, "You're lucky," as they led me away. I didn't resist. I didn't plead. I just locked my eyes on her, making sure she saw what I felt. No fear, no disbelief, just quiet, cold calculation. We were married for a decade. 10 long years building a life from the ground up. She came from wealth that looked down on ambition, while I started with nothing but a relentless drive. My name shone high on skyscrapers. Hers appeared in society columns and charity galas. I loved her, not foolishly or blindly, but with full intent. I offered her what I never had: security, strength, a fortress against the chaos of the world. And she gave me everything back. Or so I believed. The cracks began small. An odd message she dismissed as spam. A weekend trip to Napa, she said, was with her sister, while her sister was actually in Europe. But it wasn't the lies themselves that cut the deepest. It was the growing boldness behind them. She became distant, colder. She watched me with eyes that seemed to measure and wait, like a predator waiting for the perfect moment to strike. I had grown into someone she no longer recognized, self-sufficient, powerful, no longer dependent on her, and that terrified her. What I didn't yet realize was that she had planned far more than an affair. She'd gone to the police weeks earlier, filing reports behind my back, carefully painting a narrative of abuse and threats, claiming I kept illegal weapons, that her life was in danger. She aligned her accusations perfectly with an enormous corporate merger I was on the verge of finalizing, one that demanded my reputation remain spotless. Quietly, she partnered with an attorney, shifting funds, opening accounts, preparing to carve away half of everything I built once I was legally ruined. But she underestimated me. The night before my arrest, I placed a single file in my office, a bank account under her name, funded by one of my shell corporations she didn't know I controlled. I left a trail for her, baiting the hook, and she took it. A day and a half later, I sat in a holding cell. The officer smirked at me like he expected begging or tears. Instead, I calmly gave him a name. His face drained of color. 10 minutes later, the chief of police himself came through the door, beads of sweat forming at his collar despite the cool air. He didn't even glance my way. He looked directly at her. She had come in, still wearing the mask of the victim, ready to give another statement. "Release him," the chief said, his voice sharp, final. The room froze. He turned fully to her, his disappointment more cutting than any anger. "Ma'am," he said, voice low, "you have no idea who you've tried to cross. Leave this building before I have you arrested for filing false claims and obstruction." She didn't speak. She fled. But that was only the opening move. The next morning, I served her divorce papers. No negotiations, no drawn-out battles. Just a contract she signed almost eagerly, still convinced she had won. What she didn't realize was that I had already purchased the firm representing her. I paid a junior associate more than triple his salary to provide me with every confidential file, every email, every phone call, every secret conversation. The man she was seeing behind my back, he was already under investigation for securities violations. And when cornered, he gave up everything in exchange for a reduced sentence. I didn't need revenge on him. My focus was always on her. Within weeks, headlines exploded. Fraud, evidence tampering, theft of corporate funds. Every asset she had touched became evidence in a criminal case. The account I had let her siphon money into, it was funded through a federal technology grant, government money. She had unknowingly committed embezzlement on a federal level. Agents arrested her during her flight lesson. She called me from jail, her voice shaking, broken. "Why are you doing this to me?" she sobbed. I listened quietly, then answered, my voice as cold as the night they arrested me. "You wanted me to be the villain, so I became one." And I hung up. She now sits behind bars, awaiting trial, denied bail, facing 12 years, if not more. Her friends abandoned her. Her attorney dropped her. Even her own family publicly disowned her to protect their name. As for me, the merger finalized smoothly. My reputation not only intact, but elevated. The district attorney even thanked me personally for my cooperation. I don't celebrate. I don't toast to my victory. I sit alone in my office, overlooking the towering city skyline I built with my own hands. She craved power. She ended up with a prison cell. Love exposes your weaknesses. Trust leaves you blind. But betrayal? Betrayal sharpens you. It transforms you into something colder, something more dangerous. She tried to destroy me with a lie. I buried her with the truth.